Hello and welcome to episode 105 of the Giddy Knits podcast. As always, I'm Helen and I'm coming to you from Dundee in Scotland, where I live with my husband Tom and my two boys, Arthur, who is 8, and Jasper, who is 5. Today is Monday the 29th of November, and for anyone that doesn't know and hasn't watched before, welcome. I am the dyer behind Giddy Yarns, and this is my crafting podcast where I talk about all of the things that I've been crafting on. Knitting, crochet, that's pretty much it this week, but occasionally there's other things too. I had to record my intro multiple times today. I don't quite know why, but obviously things are throwing me slightly. Welcome back. Welcome back to anyone who watches regularly, and hello to anyone that is new and checking the podcast out for the first time. If you've been watching regularly, you will know by now and you'll be sick of me mentioning it, and I promise I will stop mentioning it soon, but I have got a new camera for vlogging, and this is the first time that I've actually sat down to record a full-length podcast with the camera. So bear with me if there are technical things, I don't know that it'll record the length that I want it to record in one go. We'll find out. So yeah, bear with me. Also, I will try my absolute best to make sure that I'm looking at the lens of the camera, which I know when I was recording on my phone, I was absolutely terrible at remembering to look at where the actual cameras are on the side of the phone. Hopefully with the big camera, that's going to be a lot easier because the lens is a lot bigger. But I do have a little flip up screen where I can see myself, and I am currently looking at myself. So I would imagine to you, it looks like I'm looking a little bit above the camera. So I will try and avoid doing that as much as possible. But it is helpful to make sure that when I'm showing you bits and pieces, I can check that the camera's focusing properly and that I'm holding them in screen, basically. So all of that to say, just bear with me if there are still a few little technical glitchy bits with this podcast. I'm hoping there won't be. I'm hoping it will record the full podcast in one go and the sound will be great and the picture will be great and everything will work, but you never know. Anyway, what have I got for you on this episode? We're back to a little bit of a standard array of sections. So I'll start off with a little announcement section. I've got a finished object to share. I've got some works in progress to share. I've got a new cast-on to share. I've got some blanket progress to share. I've got a tiny bit of yarny goodness to share. And then I'll finish up with some shop news. So yeah, the standard array of all of my sections, which has been unheard of in recent months. So, shall we start with some announcements? Nothing massive in announcements, just a quick reminder that we've got the Giddy Yarns make-along, which is continuing. It's my ongoing make-along, which basically, it runs all year. I do quarterly prizes. If you knit anything using my yarn, so using Giddy Yarns, then you can enter it and you might be in with a chance of winning a prize. You can enter any of our make-alongs in 3 places. You can either enter on Instagram, in the Ravelry group, or in our Mighty Networks community group. All of those places are linked underneath the video in the description, the drop-down description box. So yeah, that one's ongoing. We have a new make-along. No, we don't. Oh my goodness. See, I've written new make-along in my show notes, and that's not what I mean at all. I am thinking about starting a new make-along in January, and I was wondering if you all would like some input. What type of make-along would you like starting in January? How long a make-along would you like? Yeah. Drop me a note in the comments down below and give me some ideas for a new make-along. In January, we've run some make-alongs throughout the years. We did the new along one year where basically you had to knit anything that used either a pattern or a technique that was new to you. I can't remember any of the other ones we've knit. I could look back through my show notes, but that would take time. But yeah, anything that you fancy as a knit along, drop a note in the comments down below and I will have a little think and we'll start a new knit along for the beginning of the new year. Because why not? final announcement thing, which again, if you've been following along with my channel and you've been watching the vlogs that I've been doing, you'll know. But Vlogmas is coming up. So the first Vlogmas video will be going up on Wednesday. Yeah, it's the 29th today, 30th tomorrow, 1st of December on Wednesday. So the first Vlogmas video will be going up on Wednesday. If you've watched my Vlogmases before, you'll know that what I tend to do is record a day in advance, just to give myself a little bit more flexibility with editing time. So I will be recording my first Vlogmas video tomorrow, technically, and then it will be uploaded and hopefully it will be with you Monday morning. Vlogmas is basically, for anyone that doesn't know, Vlogmas is, I wouldn't call it a challenge as such, but basically it's, you post daily vlogs throughout December in the lead up to Christmas. So it's almost like a little vlog advent, I guess. So I'll be posting daily videos from the 1st of December up until the 24th, although because I tend to record a day in advance, you often actually get a video on Christmas Day as well, because I will record on the 24th, but that video will be uploaded for the 25th. So you get a bonus video because I tend to record a day in advance. But yeah, I share throughout Vlogmas, I just share daily life stuff, festive stuff, baking, Christmas stuff, crafting stuff, a little bit of behind the scenes of what I'm working on with the business. Yeah, that kind of thing. They tend to be under 20 minutes. I usually aim for around 15 minutes a video, something like that. Some days will be shorter, there will be occasionally days where it goes longer. Tom and I quite often do a Q&A video, which is quite fun and a bit silly, and we get lots and lots of you to ask questions for the Q&A video. And that one tends to run a little bit longer, but it's funny and it's daft, and yeah. So that is Vlogmas, and it will be starting, hopefully, on Wednesday. I am very excited to see everybody else's Vlogmases as well. I love watching Vlogmas. It's such, I don't know what it is. It's just, I just like those little peeks into other people's lives, I think. I find that really, well, everything. Depends on the vlog. Sometimes I find it comforting, sometimes I find it inspiring. I just really like it. So I hope you do too. So that's Vlogmas. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say about Vlogmas is last year we donated all of the proceeds from all of the videos that I listed on YouTube throughout December. We donated all of that revenue that's generated through you watching the adverts to our local food bank. And we're going to do that again this year. So any videos that I list on my YouTube channel during December, all of the ad revenue that I get will be going to our local food bank, which is Dundee and Angus Food Bank. Last year we raised about £100. Now that is an exceptional amount for me in terms of YouTube revenue. I don't earn that much a month in YouTube revenue at all. But I know a lot of you made extra effort to watch the ads at the beginning and the end of the videos. And also obviously because I'm posting daily videos as well as podcasts through the month, there are more videos going up, which generates more ad revenue as well. But yeah, so we will be doing that again. So throughout December, if you're able to and you're willing to, just take that extra minute or so just to watch or let the ads run at the end and the beginning of the videos. I won't be putting ads in the middle of my videos. I don't like mid-roll ads. It annoys me when I'm watching videos. I completely understand why people do it, and I'm no judgment to them, that people that choose to do it, but I always try to make sure that I click off the mid-roll ads. So you'll have an ad at the beginning and you'll have an ad at the end. And I think occasionally you get the little pop-up ones that come up on the screen that you can just click the X and they go away. But yeah, if you can, then all of that money will be going to charity. Right, shall we actually talk about some knitting and some crafting? Little Mama Bear mug, not Mama Bear, Mama Gnome mug. If you watched my little pre-Vlogmas vlog that I did the other day, mostly as a test for the new camera, you'll have seen my little gnome haul that I had. Okay, I have a finished object. And amusingly, this should technically come under a classification of a new cast-on as well. last night I sat down and I just thought to myself, you know, I just want a really quick, easy project. I want the satisfaction of finishing something. So I cast on a dishcloth because at the beginning of this year, I said that I was going to join in with Garlene of the Kitchen Sink Shop with her Year of Dishcloths knit along and knit a dishcloth every single month throughout the year. I think I knit January, February, March, and then I completely fell off it, and I haven't knit another one since. So I went back and I looked through all my emails and I looked up all the patterns and I knit this dishcloth. So this is the, I'm going to look on my note, the Wishes dishcloth, which was the September one. See if I can get, oh, there you go. It's just a lovely simple texture. I've been really enjoying the textured dishcloths that had like pearl textures, like this one. I use them as washcloths for the shower and things like that. So I find that they've got that, I don't quite know how to describe it, but having that pearl texture, it makes the soap lather better. Let's go with that. So yeah, this was, did I say this was the September? This was the September dishcloth. And I used, oh, let me see if I've got the label in here somewhere. I think I do. Yes, I used Sugar and Cream yarn, which is that one there. Oh, I should have painted my nails. Don't look at the state of my fingernails. Dyer's fingernails, they're always horrible. Sugar and Cream yarn, which is 100% cotton. This one is a worsted weight. I think I purchased this from Wool Warehouse. I got a few colours probably back at the beginning of the year when I was going to do the year of dishcloths. And this is just the soft violet colour, which is, I think, anyway, I think it's a really pretty colour. So yeah, my finished object, quick. I kind of want to keep it for me, but I also was thinking I could actually knit a couple as a gift for somebody. I bought myself some Christmas soaps the other day from Chateau de Savon, is it called? Which have been dispatched, so hopefully they should be arriving in the next couple of days. But yeah, I bought 3 Christmas soaps, but I could potentially gift one of those Christmas soaps with some washcloths as well. So I don't know. I'll see whether I get more done. But I also kind of just want some new washcloths for myself. Maybe I should just knit loads more washcloths. Yeah, it won't happen, will it? But it's a start. Okay, works in progress wise. I have finished some socks, but not pairs. So I finished the first sock. I didn't bring my sock blockers up. They're still in the garage, actually. Maybe I need to bring my sock blockers up and stick them on the shelf here so that I've got them handy for podcasts. I finished the first sock. Right, come on camera, focus on the sock, not my face. There we go. I finished the first sock in my stripy Witcher socks. So the yarn for these ones is, what was it called? Toss a Coin to Your Witcher, which is from Down Sheepy Lane. It's one of her self-striping and it's lovely. It was so lovely to knit with. I really enjoy the colours. And then I used for the toe, I used the mini that came with the set, which is her coal colourway, which is really pretty. I used it for the cuffs, the heel and the toe because I've got a 70 gram sock set. So I had 50 grams of the main colour. Where's the focus deciding to go? I'll come closer. 50 grams of the main colour, which is not going to focus. Come on, camera. This is what I've got to get used to. There we go. 50 grams of the main colour and then a 20 gram mini of the coal colourway. And I did weigh this and I've forgotten now what I said, how much there was. I think there's still about 30 grams left in this. I think I only used about 20 grams of the main colourway for the sock. So I've comfortably got enough for the second sock. But of course, I haven't cast the second sock on yet. I'm hoping I might do that this afternoon. So that's one sock finished. And if you watched my little Vlogmas, pre-Vlogmas video the other day, you'll know that I've swapped out a lot of my projects that I'm working on at the moment into festive project bags. So this one is living in a lovely little bag that I got last year from Bertie and Poppet. It's a little Christmas town. They're making me happy. And then I also finished the first sock of, although it's inside out because I haven't finished weaving the ends in. It was Arthur's birthday yesterday, and the weather wasn't fantastic, so we were originally going to go to the park and then get coffee and cake at a little cafe. It was far too cold to go to the park, so we went into town. He had a swimming lesson, which is very close to the town, and we went into town after the swimming lesson and got coffee and cake. So I was weaving these ends in just before we left, and I ran out of time. So I will have to finish weaving those in. But I did finish my Woodlands, the first sock in my Woodlands socks. So with these ones, I didn't put a contrast for the cuff. I've only done a contrast for the heel and toe. And I haven't weighed, I don't remember if I weighed this the other day or not, but again, I've probably got around 30 grams of this left quite comfortably. I've not done the longest leg on the sock, but you can see that's the leg length compared to the length of the foot. So it's not a shorty sock by any means. There we go. And the yarn, as you'll all know by now, is my Woodlands colourway, which I've got available as sock sets. I didn't use the heel that comes with the sock sets because I didn't have any, I didn't dye enough to have spares of that one when I first dyed up the sock sets. So I just dug out a random kind of green mini from my stash. And this is not quite the right green. It's a little bit too blue. I think really to go with this colourway, but it's fine. It doesn't bother me. Not a problem. And anyone that's wondering, the reason I've got these little stitch markers in, actually if I come up close you'll be able to see them. The reason I've got these little bulb pin stitch markers in there is I know how long I need to knit my foot. So I have got size 6 UK feet, and I knit 65 rounds for the foot of my sock before I add the toe in. I do a German short row heel, and then I count, once I've gone back into knitting the foot with the main colourway, I do 65 rounds. So I just place a little bulb pin every 60 rounds so that I can keep track basically, and I don't have to keep counting, and it makes it nice and easy. So again, I haven't cast the second one on yet either, but that is technically 2 socks completed this week. I've still got my lichen sock tube as well, which I haven't done anything with. It still needs a heel in. And I also still need to cast on the second sock for that. So I think this week is going to be a week of casting on second socks. Talking of casting things on, I do have a new cast on, which relates to my finished object. Because while I finished this one last night, I thought, do you know what, I'm just going to cast the next one on so that it's ready to go and I can just pick it up whenever I get the chance. And that's what I did. So, excuse the needles clanging on the table, I cast on a second one. There we go. So I'm using the same yarn, which again is just the 100% cotton sugar and cream yarn, and this is the, what's it called, Bloom Where You're Planted pattern, which was the May pattern. So it features a moss stitch border. If I can get that to come to focus again. It features a moss stitch border. Come on, camera. No, you're not going to do it this time. You're thinking about it. No, okay. Anyway, it features a moss stitch border, and then it's got kind of a textured, again, it's like it's got knits and pearls basically is all it is, but it's got like little moss stitch sections throughout the body of the washcloth. I think that's what I'm trying to say. And yeah, that's the yarn. So it's just that same kind of lilac cotton colour. But the nice thing is that I can just pick this up. I'm trying at the moment, in the mornings, I'm trying to set my alarm a little bit earlier so that when I have my cup of tea in bed, I've actually got a little bit of time to do a few rows or a few rounds on a simple knitting project. So actually this morning, I think I managed to get kind of four or five rows added to this washcloth, which was quite nice. So I'm quite enjoying that. I am not good in the mornings. I'm really rubbish in the mornings. So waking up a little bit earlier to fit in some crafting time is not easy for me. but I'm trying it. We'll see. Oops, I've just knocked the camera. Sorry about that. What else did I want to talk about? Blanket progress. I've also got a bit of blanket progress to share. I have added a few hexagons to my hexagon blanket. Earlier this week, I managed to, it's pretty much healed now, but I managed to cut the side of my finger. I was packing the 12 days of Christmas boxes, and as I was building the boxes, I gave myself a paper cut with one of the boxes, which was really painful. And I had to have a plaster on my finger. And it turns out I can't knit with a plaster on my little finger. I was trying to knit on my sock and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't tension my yarn and it wasn't working. So I picked up some crochet instead, which was brilliant because I've managed to add 4 hexagons to my blanket. So I've added this one here, which is a colourway. I'm not 100% sure what the colourway is. I think it's my dandelion colourway, which hasn't been in the shop for a while, but it's quite a nice, delicate colourway. I also added this blue here as well. This is just a really random mini. I think it might be one of the ones from the Down Sheepy Lane Colour of the Month that I crocheted a blanket out of a number of years ago. But that is just, it was just in with my minis. I also did this one here. Again, this was just a random mini. So if I can come a little bit closer, if you can get a bit more of the colour, it's a bit tricky. This was just a little random mini, but I really like it. It's nice and simple with nice little pops of colour. And then finally, I did this sparkly pink one here as well. So it's had some growth. I'm not really keeping it in any particular shape as I add stuff. I'm just adding things next to the ones I think they go nicest to. And then as it gets bigger, I'll start working out a functioning shape for it. But yeah, it's definitely growing. And I enjoyed doing a little bit on this for a change as well. It was nice to just be able to sit and crochet up the squares. Somehow I messed up the number of, like, I think it was particularly this square. I messed up somehow with my, like, you know how when you change rounds, when you go to the next round, I messed that bit up. And then I ended up increasing stitches somehow, but only in the section where I've gone to the next round. So I had to do a little bit of fudging when it came to actually attaching them together because the stitches didn't all line up. But it's fine. I think it's because I was working on them while I was chatting to some friends and I wasn't paying as much attention as I normally would be. But that's just the way things happen sometimes, isn't it? And I have to admit, it's nearly January, no it's not, nearly December, I'm very much enjoying this little progress keeper that I've got on here because it jingles. It makes me happy. So that is everything that I've been working on in terms of crafting. I also had a tiny bit of yarny goodness to share because I received a lovely, lovely gift in the post from a very regular viewer of the podcast who sent me this lovely skein of Desert Vista Dye Works yarn. Now this is where we need to get some focus, work on some focus. There we go. It's so Desert Vista Dye Works is an American self-striper. She dyes some really interesting self-striping yarns, and this is the colourway that I was very kindly sent, and it is a Zelda-inspired colourway. The colourway is Zelda 1993, and that is just so fun. Both Tom and Arthur have already begged me to make them something out of this colourway. So I'm going to make some socks for Tom, I think, and I'm going to use a contrast mini for the heels, toes and cuffs. And then hopefully I should have enough yarn left over to just make, even if I can just make some little mitts or something like that for Arthur with the remaining yarn, because I think he would really, really like that. Yeah, they're both, well, we are all big computer game fans, but the boys in particular, Tom and the boys, my husband, and so Tom and Arthur in particular are very big fans of Zelda. Arthur's been playing some of the Zelda games as well, and yeah, I can't wait. She also sent some lovely little Halloween treats for the boys, and she sent us, excuse the rustling, candy corn. The boys are very excited to have received this because candy corn is not something we get in the UK, but it's the thing that, I mean, they watch quite a lot of YouTube, so they watch a lot of American YouTube videos, and around Halloween, obviously everybody is talking about candy corn, and there's loads of like Halloween stuff about candy corn, and we don't get it in the UK. So when they saw this, they kind of knew what it was, and they're very excited to give it a try. I have taken it for the moment because I thought it might be quite fun sometime during Vlogmas for us all to open it up and do like a little taste test to try our first experience of candy corn. So it's been tucked away with that purpose in mind. It's going to fall off the shelf and land on top of me now, isn't it? We'll see. So thank you very much for that, because I know you're watching, and I'm very excited to get some socks or something cast on that, probably sooner rather than later. And then the last thing I have to talk about is some shop news. And there's not a lot of shop news to talk about. First of all, the final month in the Marvellous Monthly Minis Club will be going live on the 1st of December. I know most of you that subscribe to that have been doing it quarterly, so you'll all be ready, you'll all have sorted yours out. But if you're doing it monthly, then the final month is going to be listed on the 1st of December, and I will get those shipped out before Christmas because we're going away for Christmas. So, well, hopefully we are going to family for Christmas this year. We will see what happens. And then the other thing was just to say that I am planning a festive self-striping update, hopefully on the 10th of December. So it'll be a Friday. It will be at 7:30 p.m. on the 10th of December. I will have some of my grandma's Christmas tree colourway, I will have some of my frosted colourway, and then I will also have a brand new colourway as well. And I'm going to be doing a mix of 100 gram skeins and also, well, 100 gram gobstoppers and also 70 gram sock sets. So you'll get a 50 gram gobstopper and then you'll get a 20 gram mini. Those minis will probably just come as minis rather than me balling them all up, but you will get the 50 gram will be in a gobstopper. So yeah, the plan in theory is to have that for the 10th of December. So fingers crossed. I'm also going away next weekend. I am going to the Wool Lay Retreat down in, oh, I forgot, is it Telford? Down near Birmingham somewhere, with a lovely group of people, and that is the retreat ran by Kelly of Lay Family Yarn. So I'm really excited to just have a weekend of knitting and chatting and seeing friends and learning some tips and tricks from Kelly, which is very exciting, dyeing yarn with Kelly. She's got quite a weekend of it because I think there's 3 of us on the retreat that weekend who are all yarn dyers too. So it's going to be really interesting to kind of see what different techniques we all use and things like that. So yeah. Okay, there we go. So that teaches me that my camera will record for 30 minutes at a time and then it stops. So I'm not 100% sure where I got to, but I was just saying about the fact that at least 3 of us are yarn dyers, and it's going to be really interesting to kind of get hints and tips from each other and see everybody's different techniques. Yeah, it's going to be a really fun weekend. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Anyway, on that note, with my camera stopping, I will leave you there for this week, and I will see you all on Wednesday for the first day of Vlogmas. So thank you very much for watching. If you are new and you haven't done so yet, then a thumbs up on the video is always appreciated, because it does kind of, it gets the video recommended to more people, which means more people get to come and see my videos. And also, by all means, please hit subscribe. And I will see you all again for a proper podcast next week and for Vlogmas on Wednesday. Bye!